You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Let's Yap About It podcast. It's not a podcast, it's a problem cast.
Yeah, that's right, I know your ass, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep cooking the way I said you wanted to cook, didn't you? Cook that nigga! Anybody want to make some money, do shit the right way, then please, by all means, stay. But if not, get the fuck out!
All right, man. You getting DP? Just get the fuck out.
You motherfuckers.
All right. Now what?
Ever cut before?
You serious?
I want to work.
All right.
Yo, it's your boy Lil Peso from Memphis, Tennessee. Go tap in with my people. Let's Yap About It podcast. It's a problem cast, not a podcast. Gang shit.
Y'all know what it is. It's the biggest. Fuego Base. I'm with Let's Yap About It podcast. And we ain't a podcast. We a problem cast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Yap About It podcast. Starring Raw Bass. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Let go. We in the mix. Fit too savage. Let's Yap About It. Had to pray for all of my children. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison. Spoke how they was living. How the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes keep dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping. Out of game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's Yap About It. If the bitch come around me, shit, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me. Cause you know I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep it going. I fuck you up, no apologies. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Let's Yap About It. Another one. Finish him. Bit too savage. Savage like music.
We are back. How you?
We are definitely back, man. Listen, I'm glad that y'all have decided to join me today. Listen, I got a lot to yap about today. Man, it is so much that's going on, so much drama, so much BS. But I think that we have to take an address to it. But I want to introduce you to a track, man, because I'm feeling so good today, man. I wanted to show some love, especially to the underground artists of Houston. You know, I definitely wanted y'all to vibe out. I want y'all to check this track out, you know what I'm saying, before we get started. But I'm feeling good, and it's one of my favorite personal tracks, you know what I mean? But if I can spread the love, spread some positive energy, and spread some, you know what I'm saying, some awareness of the local talent and musical artists that we do have around Houston, this is too teasy, man. The song is called Ride the Wave. Y'all check this out before we get started. You already know who it is, man. We got a lot to yap about. So check this out.
What's up?
Hey yo, Ran, turn that up. Turn that up. I just bought a new AK. I'm feeling good today. I just straight drive behind you, yeah. I'm feeling good today. Right away, right away, right away. Ay. I'm feeling good today. Right away, right away, right away. Ay. I'm feeling good today. These niggas faking this silicone teeth. Did it by watch nigga bob like this. I threw away the key, got a lock on the city. Plug for the pack, and I ran out. Drop head, cool, scared out. Stress on my body, yo bitch wanna feel it. Permanent scars, can't nobody heal it. They kill my nigga, I gotta go get him. I be in my bag, I ain't never in my feelings on the cell phone. Jumping by the trap, I'm in the corner, roll the purple bell, wanna sip purple bell, so pussy nigga hating on me, I'm a purple chicken on you. I whip them with I trap in design bodies on my chopper, at me and fire. Ain't no feelings in me, baby, got my heart so hollow. I just took a pill, ooh, made me wanna holler. Like I'm 18 when I'm a motherfucking rattle. I just bought a new AK. I'm feeling good today. I just straight drive behind you, yeah. I'm feeling good today. Right away, right away, right away. Ay. I'm feeling good today. Right away, right away, right away. Ay. I'm feeling good today. Hey yo, Ran, turn that up.
We are back on the tap in, man. That was too teasy, man. Listen, Ride the Wave. I had to give him some love, man. Real talk, man. I'm just into the music. I ain't into the politics of everything. I'm just definitely into the music. But man, without further ado, I definitely want to get into what we talking about today, man. This was a vibe. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday, man. I hope everything is going in your favor. But we definitely got a lot to yap about today, man. So without further ado, welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast. We are changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for today's broadcast. Please subscribe, share, and hit the like button to let us know. We appreciate you. We do appreciate you for tuning in. The conversation we are having today is going to be concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain. We want to entertain and most of all, explain in detail about what we are yapping about. But I also want to say this, man, and I want to send a special shout out. You know what I'm saying? all across the board. You know what I'm saying? To Ed Hennings, the future official work boot of yours truly, Rod the Prob, Let's Yap About It podcast, and the work boot to longshoresmen here in Texas. From the Inspire Red to the Max Pro, and also the new MetaGuard. Protect your feet at all costs, because your feet are the guide to your career and success. We put our boots to the ground and we let Ed Hennings do the walking for us. So all longshoresmen, plumbers, oil riggers, construction contractors, and more, please DM me. You're going to get definitely $25 to $50 off of each pair of your work boots. You know what I'm saying? I definitely got to show the love across that. Oh, and I definitely got to tap in on this, man, because this is huge. This is huge for me. And I just definitely want to see everybody grow and everybody be aware about what we got going on behind the scenes. Listen, man, we got a sponsor, you know, Seeing the Wings, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. Absolutely. We got Seeing the Wings, you know, definitely in the building. Listen to me. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Sienna Wings and Sienna Sauce, one of the most delicious flavors in sauce. Today, we got something to make your taste buds palate jump for joy. Listen, the smoky brown, I'm showing you exactly what it is. Listen to me. The smoky brown with an invigorating taste that'll have you wanting more, with even the blend of smoked chilies with a sweetness, just a little sweetness of the brown sugar. This sauce, listen to me, this sauce is gluten-free, no high fructose corn syrup, and this is an amazing sauce, and it is a great complement to your chicken, your beef, your pork, your seafood, and for my vegans out there, tofu that has been fried, smoked, baked, or even grilled. Listen to me. I want you to head over to siennasauceco.com or any local HEB and grab you some sauce today, man. Shout out to her, man. Definitely. Oh, yeah, we're moving and grooving. We definitely moving and grooving, and I just wanted to bring an awareness to it. Let's see. Hold on. I don't know why my screen did that, but nonetheless, I'm here. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So y'all definitely tune in. Y'all tap in. I want y'all to give y'all honest opinions on about what's going on. And if you didn't get a chance to see it, listen, I'm going to show it to you so you can get close directly up on it to see in the sauce. And then I'm going to also show it today at the end of the program too as well. So y'all can definitely go over there to HEB or go to the website or even any local HEB and, man, grab you some sauce today, man. But without further ado, I want to get into this. And I really want to tap into this because this has been going on right now. 50 Cent throws dirt on Clarissa Shields to shade Pap. 50 Cent allegedly has text messages on Clarissa Shields and the alleged man that she speaks on. So let's get to it. Listen, I want to show you a picture of who this individual is so you can see him. This dude right here. His name is Maserati Bud. This is the guy who allegedly has been at Clarissa Shields' house and just different things like that. There's so much controversy going over this situation. Of course, you know, 50 Cent and Pap are beefing right now, but I'm going to say this. Right now, where we are in media, as far as us using our platforms, and especially me, we have a lot of gender war going on. We got a lot of beef, we got a lot of drama, and a whole bunch of people that are unhappy. I'm going to say that we're unhappy about our wealth. We're unhappy about our health, and for us to our health and our wealth to be in a situation to where we can be comfortable for the rest of our lives. As you know, 50 Cent, and I cleared that up. 50 Cent basically lied about the leasing agreement that Jim Jones had and said that he was buying the building. All that was just a bunch of rhetoric and a whole bunch of internet gangsterism just to get the internet talking and what have you. Over here, you've seen me. I never reported on it because it was non-factual, and I want it to be factual when it comes to certain things like this. But I honestly want to say this, and I really want us to get into this today. I'm starting to look at a lot of black men that are in positions of power that may change a few lives. I don't think, and I'm just saying this, I don't think these men that have risen to the top have reinvented themselves. I don't think that they're completely happy. I used to be, and I'm not gonna say a fan. I love music. I love the artistry. I love the creativity that people bring as far as the creativity in music. But when it comes to the personality and the behavior of a person, it could literally turn me off. And what I'm seeing right now in society, in the podcasting, that there's a lot of mess and a lot of politics that play before the world that shouldn't be even displayed for the world to see. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there was a time that black folks used to be discreet about their business. And now everything is basically, how can I say this? Everything is footage, everything is content, everything is for the world to see. But I want to ask this question. Do you see any other ethnic group, and you know the group that I'm talking about, do you see them displaying their personal business endeavors and business affairs, no matter whether it's good or bad? Do you see them playing that before the front of the world? And the reason that I'm saying this is because supposed to be a level of secret, of discreetness, a certain level to where you're supposed to not put everything that you experience in life on the forefront. As you can see, and I'm using these people as an example, 50 Cent, it seems like he's just unhappy. Yes, he has the money. Yes, he has the leverage. Yes, he has the power. But what else is there beside to go off and to try to marry somebody and to create a legacy? You know what I'm saying? And to be just literally happy in the sense of the word. Now, most of the time, and I'm going to say this, me as a man, if I ever get to that position, I want to help people. I want to put people in the positions of power. I don't want to basically be in a position to where I could be used and abused or used as a pawn, as Maserati Bud. Now, I'm going to ask this question. What does he do? Does he rap? Is he in movies? I mean, what is his entrepreneurial endeavors? I mean, I don't know. And for him to be sitting up under 50 Cent, it shows me, and I'm saying, and this is what we got to stop doing as black folks. We have to stop associating ourselves and looking up at people with symbolism as power. We have literally got to understand, we have to look at each other as partners. And we cannot be in a vulnerable position to where somebody has the power, has the leverage, and they can't do nothing. And what I'm saying is can't do nothing for you as an in general person. What I'm starting to see is that a lot of people want their success to be put in the hands of others. That's what I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see a lot of these dudes are infatuated and infantilized of these people that do have the money, that do have the power. They start to become fans of them. They start to look at them in awe, and they don't have anything prepared for them to get themselves and to pull themselves up by the bootstrap and to hustle and to grind, or have some type of product, some type of service so that they can be looked at and respected as well. A lot of these guys have that 15 minutes of fame, and then it goes to shit because they don't have anything that you can respect as far as a tangible. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen this guy be put on the forefront. We've seen him go live and talk about Clarissa Shields. But what is it that you do besides this and your claim to fame about being with somebody that is actually happy? What the fuck is it that you are bringing to the world that we can respect? I don't see anything. And for you to be sitting here hanging as somebody else's flunky, and I'm going to say yes, as somebody's flunky, that makes you look like a sucker. And here's another thing. When did it become normal for men to start to become the bitches? When has that been the thing, man? When has it been to where people had beef and whatever it was as far as the music part of it? Now we start slinging mud and start bringing families and children and women and all this type of shit. When did this become a normalcy as far as Black American culture? When? I don't approve of it. I don't do the sucker shit, because when you start involving family, I'm going to tell you like this. That's a quick way to get your goddamn lights turned off. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when was it normal? And this is where I'm starting to see that the people that have been in the rap game start to look like bitches, because we sit around and we doing the same thing that we don't want the women to do, but we're turning around and doing the same thing in these blogs talking about who's screwing who, who's having sex with who. Who gives a fuck? If the person is happy, let them continuously be happy. That's my thing. If a man shouldn't speak on a woman unless she's lying, especially when it comes to domestic violence, sexual abuse, or any of these type of things, that's when a man should open his mouth and speak up. But other than that, man, who gives a ding dong about what somebody's doing in their personal life and personal affairs? It doesn't make you a better person. And for you to use it as fuel in his hate, it makes you look like a sucker too. Because at the end of the day, what was your interest? What was your level of interest? Was you looking out for Pap? Absolutely not. He doesn't like you. Everybody knows exactly who he is and the person that he's become. You've seen me explain this. When a person is unhappy and miserable, you can see that their soul, and I'm saying this respectfully, their soul is always uneasy. Their soul is always bothered. Their soul has no rest. And for you to have accomplished what you've accomplished, and for you to have obtained what you've obtained for these decades, and you're still in the arena of bullshit, man, that just makes you look like a sucker, and I don't respect it. Man. For real, for real. It just makes you look like a sucker. And I really want you to start paying attention to people like that. They don't have to necessarily be on the top like that, but you can notice people that's in your inner circle. They may have that capability of throwing out certain levels of truth as shade. You have to be able to recognize individuals like that. Because if you look at the overall, if you look at the worksheet of this particular individual, and I'm talking about 50 Cent, anybody that he has actually been friends with, has it sustained its life? And when I say life, I mean friends for life. You shouldn't just have one person. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you look at the Tony Yayo situation, right? Yes, he's loyal, but at the expense of him being embarrassed and disrespected to a certain level. And the reason why I'm saying this, I don't give a damn who it is. Even if we're doing business, I'm not looking at you as no big homie. We're doing business. We're partners. That's it. No more, no less. Even if we're in the music industry and up under a certain label, this is a partnership. There ain't no big homie here. Ain't no man on this planet Earth will ever be my father-like figure or my big homie. No, sir. No, sir. I've always stood the test of time. Now, you can have respectable people that are your mentors. You can have people that have been in a position of power to teach you some things, and you gather that information. They can teach you how to fish. But nonetheless, you're not my partner like that. You're not my big homie like that. Man, we don't respect that big homie shit around here, especially not me. At the end of the day, if I have personal issues with you, ain't nobody that's older than me can tell me what issue I am going to have with you or not going to have with you. And in this type of situation, when I'm looking at this goofball right here, standing on the forefront that don't have nothing to offer, not a music career, I ain't never heard of him dropping the music. See, you got to notice the difference in between opportunity, right? When we look at 50 Cent and we've seen Rick Ross get into it and certain things happening, we looked at Rick Ross as an opportunity person. And what I'm saying is he was dropping music. He always made things relevant to where it would be a benefit. And the reason why I'm saying it would be a benefit is because it actually turns into a monetization type of situation. It was always profitable. You know what I'm saying? We all know that any bad press is still good press nonetheless. But when we're talking situations to where it can actually put you in a position of power, he knows how to execute respectfully and precisely. That's the difference. And for him to be sitting up here, his claim to fame is going through 50 Cent and talking about somebody that's more famous than him, and he has nothing to offer. This is a squandered and wasted opportunity. It's a wasted opportunity. And the reason why I'm saying this is because look at Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya got around some of the most influential bloggers. She wasn't cooking. That's her thing. She sat around, danced, had fun, and didn't execute on the opportunity. That's what you have to do. You have to understand in this lifetime, you only get one, maybe two chances to execute, to set your life into a different realm or stratosphere or even ionosphere. Let's go deep. Let's talk intergalactic, you know what I'm saying? Sciences. Let's talk about it. But in his situation, he has nothing to offer. And as fast as he's came to the forefront of who he's supposed to be, I guarantee within the next 2 weeks, we won't even be talking about his ass. We won't even be talking about him. And the reason we won't be talking about him is because he's going to be irrelevant. And irrelevant to the point of he's going to up and realize that, guess what? Just as fast as he came to the forefront, he'll be making his exit stage left very fast. I don't respect shit like this. And then also, I want to bring up to the point this. And this is a very interesting thing. As we sit there and we look at him in that situation, let's look at him.
What happened with Brandy and everything? Let's just do it.
Listen,
let's do it. Who's dealing with Brandy?
Okay, let me switch my glass.
You know what happened?
We going.
You was dating Brandy at one time, or y'all was just, how'd it go?
I was special, you know. He came in and wanted to be special. So I had to let him be special.
I mean, no lies told.
Yeah,
he was Shaq.
Okay.
He was the champion. He was the MVP.
Right.
I was Kobe, no pun intended, because they said Kobe was a special friend of Brandy's as well.
Right.
But
see, what I don't like about it is for Sean to be through what he's been through, especially him doing time on behalf of Diddy and being baited and lured into a situation. Now, at first, he looked uncomfortable. I'm going to say that. He looked uncomfortable in that situation to bring up the past. And to be honest with you, this is almost, 20, 30 years that this happened. And now to be bringing it up on the forefront, to be sitting here talking about where a woman is dated, you know what I'm saying? As I say all the time, if you're going to talk about somebody, be quick to speak about your shit, just as you quick to speak about others. This ain't no hate and this ain't no shade because, like I said, using your platform to sit there. I mean, it seems like you're running out of things to talk about. Yeah, you want to generate views, but at what cost, though? You want to generate views, but you want to sell your soul for it. You want to generate views and destroy friendships and relationships because, as we seen Brandy sitting with Cameron doing a skit maybe just a couple of years ago. I don't think that anybody that you do business with as far as black culture, you would be able to throw them up under the bus, disrespect them, or put them in position. And the reason why I'm saying that is because her personal affairs are her personal affairs. Yes, his personal affairs are his personal affairs. But at the end of the day, to create a certain level of gossip, it makes me look at these dudes totally different. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm coming up in the game, man, at the end of the day, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, let it be factual. Because at the end of the day, would you say the same thing in front of Brandy? That's my question. If Brandy was sitting right there in that situation, would you be saying the same thing? I highly doubt it, which shows me exactly the character and the behavior of these types. Now, I'm not a huge platform, but I'm on my way to being a big platform. But nonetheless, I don't want to be around cats like that. I don't want to sit around dudes who sit here and record conversations and want to create certain narratives and different type of things like that, especially when we're considering situations to be private. There ain't nothing that I can't say that I'll say to any motherfucking face on this planet Earth. And for us to be sitting here talking about things, or to be you sitting there talking about things and situations that happened 30, 40 years ago, that's sucker shit. I don't respect it. These OGs are starting to look like suckers and bitch ass niggas. And I don't respect that. And the reason why I said bitch ass niggas, that's because that's my belief. I said that. That's me. That's me speaking for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around cats like that because I feel like if you'll speak on that, you'll speak on a lot of personal business of mine, and I'll do something to you. And I literally would do something to you, and I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? That's sucker shit, man. Leave that sucker shit over there. Shout out to Brandy, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. And she ain't responded to it, and I hope she continues like to respond to it because that's a bunch of sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brandy, man.
Good.
But I want to get to the meat and potatoes of this type of situation, man. Check this out. We had a very, very interesting thing pop up as far as the rodeo, right? We talking rodeo. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to talk the rodeo. The rodeo situation, as you know, I think it's going to change a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? The rodeo enforces dress code. The Houston Rodeo has announced a new dress code policy for all patrons who attend the rodeo as a part of an updated code of conduct. This new dress code will take effect immediately. And the reason why I agree with the situation is because simply that this is a family orientated event. These people do not respect themselves. These people do not respect others. And these people dang show and these people do not respect the overall capacity of where people are and the views of where people are. And the reason why I'm saying this is because what are you to tell your kid when you see ass cheeks out there? And let me discuss this. Being a cowboy and a cowgirl does not define you as being naked. I don't know what concept that they had about being naked and just wearing some boots and wearing a cowboy hat and tying it up into a halter top and having your ass cheeks out. No, that's not about being a cowboy. If you want to know the real history of being a cowboy, if you want to know the history of being a real cowgirl, it ain't go in your history books. This ain't it of where we are in 2026. And what's so funny is about it, it was a black man who spoke on this type of situation and he brought it to the forefront. And I really want to get into what he and his view was about the situation. He's famous within the city of Houston, but check out what he had to say. And this was pretty interesting.
Hey, I'm walking around the rodeo and I'm thinking to myself, the rodeo then became the bootio. I done seen so many women walking around here as cowgirls wearing booty shorts all the way up to their booty, cheek shorts, whatever you want to call them. And I'm like, damn, is we at the strip club or is we at the rodeo? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't complaining. This is a beautiful sight to see. Ladies, y'all look good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I love it. I love it. But come on, man, we got children walking around here. We got kids walking around here, man. You know what I'm saying? What you supposed to tell your kids when you got a woman walking around with her ass all out as a cowgirl and they be like, Mommy, Daddy, why that girl got her butt all out? Like, what you supposed to tell them? You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rodeo has become the bootio. Like, this is crazy work. Crazy work. But hey, I ain't complaining, but hey, just remember, we got kids out here.
And it's funny because he's a young man. He's not older. And for him to observe it in the way that he observed it, it shows that a certain level of concern. He's not going in the mixture of the crowd. He's not going with the flow of everything. He's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. He's actually being very observant about what's going on. And we're talking about older adults doing this type of thing. We're talking about the younger adults doing this type of thing. And what does that say about the character and the history of where we've come from and where we are today as black folks? Because there are other ethnic groups that want to enjoy certain things. We literally have got to stop turning every local family event into something fucking ghetto. We got to stop doing this. And the reason we got to stop doing this is because where are the boundaries to where we say, okay, we're not going to cross this line. Okay, we're not going to go over here and we're not going to cross that line. Where does that say about our society? And guess what? People are going to get mad. People are going to be pissed off at me. So what? At the end of the day, there has to be a line drawn in the sand. And the reason it has to be a line drawn in the sand is
I'm walking around the rodeo.
This right here, it cannot be the normalcy of where we are in our society. This cannot be. It cannot be to where everywhere we go, we got to be naked. We cannot be this way. This was not intended for it to be that way. And the rodeo definitely wasn't intended to be that way. And now you've enforced the dress code. Now, make no mistake about it. They set a precedent with this thing, but they're going to do another thing, meaning from now on, they're going to grade each event with a fine-tooth comb because this is the reliant coming down from them. This is coming down from the corporate side. So you can only imagine that any event that they're going to have from now on, it's going to be monitored. Your dress code is going to be enforced fully to where you're actually respectable outside. But check this out. This was the results probably of not just his posts, but several other posts that are popular in the city. And guess what? Social media right now is the curve of to where people start changing and implementing certain things. But check this out. This was the second part of it.
Well, look what we have here. They use the rodeo just now. They got a new dress code. They say they seen all the videos. They say they seen in person with all the women coming out there with their butt cheeks all out. You know what I'm saying? Booty cheeks, booty shorts, everything. Looking like the strip club, looking like Air 29, pink highs, all that. You know what I'm saying? They blaming me. They say my video was the start of all this. The rodeo then became the bootio. I done seen so many women walking around here as cowgirls wearing booty shorts all the way up to their booty, cheeks shorts, whatever you want. I was just speaking of what I said out there. But let's just go ahead and look at the new dress code. You know what I'm saying? Come with me. I ain't gonna lie. I thought they was gonna wait till next rodeo season to give a dress code for the rodeo. But they said, nah, we gonna do this right now. We got one more week to the rodeo. We ain't seen enough. Go ahead and give the rodeo this new dress code right now. So we're going to go ahead and check out the rules real quick. Oh, they not playing. They said this policy is effective immediately. Guests can be denied entry or removed for inappropriate clothing. So, yep, ladies, no more coming to the rodeo like it's the strip club. Nah, you ain't finna be showing them cheeks out there in front of them cheering. No. They said this is a family event. Shirts and proper footwear are required. So, yep, gotta wear shirts. Can't show no skin. This is not Mardi Gras. Nope. Can't do that over here. You know what I'm saying? They saying no accessory torn clothing. No, none of it. Oh, yeah, they not playing. They not playing around. So if you want to get in this rodeo this week, you better follow these rules and guidelines.
And I'm going to say this about the situation. What kind of respectable man would want you in such a way when you literally come to a family-orientated event just like how you were? Just like that. Ass cheeks out, boots, fishnets, all that. What respectable man would want to take you up under his wing and want to make you something of his value? And when I say of his value, meaning to invest in you and to do anything. When you sitting around with his more ass cheeks out here like we dressed at Caro's. Come on, man. Let's be serious about our lives. Let's be serious about how we move it. Let's be serious about how we function. You want to know why? You want to know why that there's so much going on? Is because we also have the freedom to do whatever it is that we want to do, but we also have the freedom to fail ourselves. We also have the freedom to put ourselves in bad positions to where unwarranted attention can happen. But then here's the problem. You'll want somebody to come and protect you in case that happens. But the thing is, you cannot be inviting of a situation when you can improve what you're doing right there at that moment. Anytime somebody comes out, and I want to say this, a lot of us in Black culture are beautiful, but a lot of times we can actually become prisoners of our own beauty. A lot of times, yes, you do have fine women out there. Yes, you do have sexy women out there, but it's not supposed to be on display for everybody to see because guess what? Everybody's not a model citizen. Everybody's not cool. Everybody's not copacetic. Everybody sometimes has these urges. Some people have sexual urges and different things that they are not able to control and will wait for the right time and the right place and the right space to attack you. See, these things aren't considered when we're talking about some real live things going on. And it sucks that the rodeo had to enforce this right at the money, right on time, and enforce this immediately because it was spinning out of control. It's spent out of control. And for them to have to do that in an immediate stance tells me two things. That the staff wasn't pleased, the vendors weren't pleased, Other people who probably called in with their families weren't pleased. And most of all, the people that put this together to make it a family orientated event. The rodeo itself was not pleased. And it also shows that going forward, that they're going to basically weasel out those types of individual and those type of individuals to make this a more family orientated setting. You know why? Because they don't want your kind there. They don't want your type to be in that type of situation to create that type of hysteria, stares, looks, and unnecessary wanted attention that could actually put their officers, their security at risk. They don't want that there. They don't want your money. They don't want your kind there. And I'm glad that they actually took a stance. And I'm glad that they actually took the time in order to enforce this dress code. And I see in the future, there ain't going to be a lot of people coming back to the rodeo. That's a good thing because at the end of the day, it's family orientated and it should stay that way. Shout out to the rodeo for taking care of their business. Now, I want to speak on this situation because it's been going around Houston. Smackwater. Smackwater of Houston Speaks. Smackwater talked about a lot of talent in H-Town not getting played. And this all was a sparked conversation from Big Perk talking to Killer Callion. And he was expressing himself about is he's not seeing him on the forefront. The reason why it's like this, and he said it's because of a certain level of gatekeeping. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm speaking on my behalf. I'm not speaking on everybody's behalf, but I'm speaking on my behalf. The people that are gatekeepers are also the usherers and the shepherds of what goes on and who gets a record deal, who doesn't get a record deal, and also of them wanting to take a piece of the pie or a piece of the action when they're walking them into certain record labels. A lot of people have tried to monopolize, and when I say monopolize, meaning control everything that comes out of a certain state, comes out of a certain city. Everybody wants to be a part of something. But I want you to understand this about that situation. It lies deeper than that. There are a lot of individuals that have talent in the city that they may have to go out of the city to be recognized. And it should not take a situation like this for it to spark a conversation about what's been going on for a very long time. And I want to send a special shout out to the Real B Banks, Trilly Polk. I want to send a special shout out to also Hustle Hard Religion. I also want to send a special shout out to all of the other individuals that do not get played. But I want to tell these artists, if there's a gate that is kept up, knock that motherfucker down. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you're going to have to go, and I'm talking about 10 times as hard for people to recognize your talents and to respect your skills. Don't let no gates be closed upon you because you're looking at it from a one dimension. You're going to have to understand that there are going to be powers that will fight you twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as hard for you not to be successful. But can you understand that that is the process of being successful? Can you understand that you're going to be a lot of no's told to you purposely to bring some bullshit motherfucker who is talentless in? Can you stomach that? Can you sustain the hustle and the grind and the hunger that you have to be successful, to know that you're going to have to go through roadblocks, potholes, and pitfalls to keep you from being a success in this music game? Can you do that? Are you willing to sacrifice enough? That's my question. And there are a lot of talent. There's endless talent in this city. But at the end of the day, you don't have to go through certain individuals. You can go exactly outside of the state of Texas, California, New York, Chicago, Florida, and you can go anywhere you need to go to where you can grow. That's important to understand, that as a person that has his career in his own hands, that you must do 2 things. You have to understand that the cards are stacked against you. Malcolm X already told you that the goalposts will continuously to move, and they do have black faces that are in front of white faces to keep the goalposts moving. That's what you got to understand. Fuck a goddamn gate. Knock the gate down. Be able to get in these DJs' faces. Hey, and also keep score of the motherfuckers who don't play your records. Keep score of the individuals that you offer them an opportunity, or you offer them, hey man, let's get down with this team. Let's figure this thing out and let's blow this thing up to make it great. Look at the people that scoffed at you. Look at the people that rolled their eyes at you. Look at the people that smacked their teeth and had a gnashing of the teeth. Because being around a sucker for 2 seconds is too long. And you can identify them immediately when they know that all you have is your raw talent, your expertise of what as far as the music industry, and you trying to do something to change your life for the better. And if any black man on this planet is in a position of power and don't respect that, fuck them. I'm saying that. At the end of the day, if you're trying to do something right, because you could be doing something wrong, and you're trying to figure it out, and you're trying to build your brand, you're trying to build your name in the rap game, you're trying to build to where your name starts ringing bells, and it's closed opportunity and closed door after closed door after closed door. I can tell you at the end of the day, don't stop what you're doing. Your breakthrough ain't through one channel. This world is made up of many roads. If you ever grab a map, this world, and I'm talking about the United States of America, is made up of many roads, and you don't have to take one in order to get to your success. Your journey is your journey, but make sure that you savor every moment that you had a yes. Make sure you savor every moment that you had a no. Make sure that you savor every moment that a motherfucker didn't even believe in you. There have been many individuals that have walked into these executive offices and they looked at them and scoffed and laughed. But you don't let that discourage you. You don't let that break you. You don't let that be the defining moment. And there's a lot of kids, and I'm talking about men and women alike, that have let that be their defining moment. That no. And I'm here to tell you, shout out to Dres the Beatnik, who we sat and had this conversation for almost 2.5 hours. No builds legacies. The word no builds legacies, and I've always kept that. So any no that I've ever received has always granted me an opportunity somewhere else to say yes. So don't ever in your life allow a motherfucker to tell you no when there are a million possibilities of yes outside that no. Make sure you have your head on straight. Make sure you got your spirit right. Make sure that you got your head on tight. Make sure that you soaking up as much information and as much education as you can when the people that come along your way that you never would have thought had the most valuable, precious information. Listen to them, because you'll be able to take that information and utilize it for yourself and be able to build something remarkable and something that you probably would have never even imagined just from somebody that didn't have all the jewels, that didn't have the Rolls Royces. You'll be able to take that one small bit of information and be able to turn it into an empire. So don't never let nobody stop you from being great. And I also want to send a special shout out to all of the ones that I rock with, you know what I'm saying, that have been checking out my page. All the people, Cartel Bo, OTB Fastlane, Money DW, and the list goes on and the list grows on, because they have afforded themselves and created a lane and a space for themselves to be hot in the city of Houston. I salute them. And at the end of the day, do not stop. Keep on going. Just live in that studio. Continue your grind, continue to be great, and don't let nobody stop you from doing what you're destined to do, because you've already made it through halfway. Now, guess what? It's time to get to the finish line. And like Nip said, man, life ain't a sprint. It's a marathon. Shout out to Nip, though. You know what I mean? And speaking of, I wanted to talk about this situation. This situation between Gunplay and Rick Ross. Man, it's a very serious situation. It's a very sensitive situation. Gunplay is at odds about his label situation and his distribution deal. And I want to talk to the young brothers about affording an opportunity in this situation. But I really want to bring to fruition in the forefront about what was happening and what was going on in that situation. But check this out as far as what Rick Ross had to say about it.
Look what we have here.
And this is very interesting about it because it made me think about something. But check this out.
My little bro situation, because I got nothing but love for him, but the situation you talking about was saying wasn't no budgets or nothing like that. The distributor had done dropped you. They ain't want nothing to do with you. MMG just ain't give you the bad news. We told you just keep working, just keep grinding. Don't stop, don't quit. Yeah, that's how it goes. When they don't want to spend no money on you, ain't no more budgets. You ain't have a manager or none of that, so they ain't tell you. And I ain't want to break your heart. I want you to keep hustling. I always say you, man. And not laughing at my little bro.
I got to speak on this situation, right? And the reason why I speak on it is because, and I want to talk to Gunplay, and I hope that maybe this is a shared kind word because he was one of my favorite out of MMG, besides Meek Mill and Wale. Him, Torch, and Breed. I'm going to say this, and I want to talk to Gunplay directly. Gunplay, I love your talent. I love your skills. I love the personality of who you are as a person. But when it comes to the business aspect of life, you have to understand this, that Rick Ross was working and figuring things out. Even if he didn't know everything, he was willing to sit down and learn. He got himself amongst the greats, some of the most elite people within the music industry. He was around Birdman. He was around Jay-Z. He was around Diddy. All of these type of people that set the foundation to where they got in the position of where they are. And that was by listening. You know, Kiss has a song where he says, where I became a wise man, but I learned to sit down and listen to a wise man and quickly became a rich one. He sat down and listened to a wise man and became a rich one. And that necessarily doesn't mean in the dollar, but it means in the wisdom. And you were in the position of seeing and experiencing what most artists only fathom and dream to be around. The reason why I'm saying this is because when I heard Rick Ross said, everybody want me to do something for them. But when it comes to certain things, I want to look at your Instagram. I want to look at your Facebook. I want to look at your TikTok. I want to see what you've done for Rose. But the thing is, you had a direct pipeline to arguably one of the most influential artists in the game. You were right next to him to learn, to soak up the game. And you had a decision to make. And I love you as a brother. And I want to tell you this. You had a decision to make to where either you were going to choose success or you were going to choose failure. You were going to choose an opportunity to be able to create a lifestyle, just if not just as much as his, a lifestyle for yourself with Rick Ross. Rick Ross said some key intricate things about the label dropping you and you not understanding that you didn't even know it. That's because you didn't have your business right, brother. You didn't understand the significance of understanding that the corporate world has nothing to do with the streets. And if you become a liability, they'll remove themselves from you. I want to talk to men and women right now. A lot of us don't even understand that we were an asset at one point and then we became a liability. And here's the thing, your homie said that I didn't even have the heart to tell you because I still believed in you, but it was some things in politics that you would emotionally react to that you don't understand. Because why? When you had an opportunity to learn the business, you was in street trouble. When you had an opportunity to learn the business, you had other business endeavors that were going on contrary to your contractual obligations. From the moment that you had that opportunity and you were able to shine, and I remember every verse, you know what I'm saying, from the hit song Rolling and for all the songs and every mixtape from Don Logan and everything. And how do I know this? Because I followed your career. You were one of my top favorites out of MMG. And I'm saying this because I know your career, but did you fully understand what your career was supposed to be? Because I always believed in you, no different. And that's your homie, Ross. But I believed in you to be a certain level of success. But you had the opportunity. And when Ross said that I still believe in you, he said, I'm not laughing at my homie, but understand that you cost and sacrificed your career to everything. And let's get real. Can we address the elephant in the room? There were some things that you valued more outside of your career. There were some things that you didn't understand that you had to get your mind right. Remember I said, if a black man has these 4 areas together, he's unstoppable. If he's got his physical, he's got his emotional, he's got his mental, and he's got his financial together, he's unstoppable. But when we choose to do other things, when we choose to let coping mechanisms and escapism be our resolution for comfort, then the success is automatically taken off the table. That's a hard pill to swallow that a lot of young men do not understand when they got into this rap game. You can let everything be your coping mechanism and everything be your comfort. But the discomfort that you will live in will be that your career never was successful. See, that's a hard pill to swallow. There are a lot of marriages. There's a lot of relationships that are going to falter and to fail because one is willing to exceed expectations of mediocrity. And you got one that wants to just coast because they're still in survival mode. They still only understand life from one way. That's why there's so much conflict within our world today. That's why the people at the bottom understand something. And here's something which you don't even realize. There are people at the bottom that have understood what they have understood at the top, still come down to the bottom to use and abuse and get whatever crumbs that they flick off the table to use you, no more, no less. Oh yeah, there are people at the bottom right now along with you can understand that you are a one-trick pony. Understand that you are an emotional wreck. Understand that you don't understand life as a whole, and they will use it and abuse you and take full advantage of you as a person. And what kind of position is that to be in when you're vulnerable? What kind of position is that to be in when you still are emotional and you're an emotional wreck and you still haven't understood the overall picture? What kind of position is that to be in? And if you're still in that position at 30 and 40, then it's time to understand that hey, you now recognize it. That is a good thing. But your homie, Rick Ross, who you've been around, who you could have soaked up so much game from and created your own lane. And I'm glad that you got Animal Shelter. Shout out to Trap God Lido. Shout out to 305. I forgot his name at the moment, but I'm saying you got a good thing going. You got some talent over there. You got some skills over there. You still have your talent and you still have your skills, but don't let them go in vain. And I'm going to tell you something. What you got to understand, Gunplay, and I'm talking to you directly, you can't have your boss outwork you and then you complain about not having the opportunities. You were blessed with a skill. And what we have to realize, and I want to talk to everybody right now, you have to realize that you're on God's time and not yours. It could seem like we're on our own time, but we're really not. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the most successful people realize that they don't have a lot of time. And the most unsuccessful people feel as if they have a lot of time. I'm going to repeat that again. The most successful people on this planet Earth realize that they don't have a lot of time. The most unsuccessful people feel as if they have a lot of time. And here's the thing when I say God's time and not yours. Your time, you may seem like you have decades, but in God's eyes, you have milliseconds. In our time, we feel like we may have at least 4 scores and more, but in God may have other plans for you. So when you have a talent or a skill that God has blessed you with, you are to exercise it and utilize it to your best of abilities. And if you don't, God will take that same talent, instill it in somebody else, and allow them to surpass you. Most people don't look at God as not just being a jealous God, but it's not necessarily of putting him before you, putting you before him. It's about you literally having the talents and the skills that he put into you, and you don't utilize them the way in the manner of which he blessed you with. Anything that is a talent and a skill that nobody else possesses is precious. And you're supposed to understand that, whether you got cooking skills, teaching skills, music, instrumentation skills, being able to do beats, being able to write music, being able to. There are too many people that have talent and will never, ever surpass the end of their ass off a couch because they didn't have the drive. They didn't have the mental capacity. They didn't have the emotional capacity. They didn't understand what sacrifice meant, meaning they had to turn off everybody and lock in. Turn off all bullshit and focus. Obliterate all the bullshit and be content within your talent and skills and figuring out a way to where you could take the artistical and turn it into a financial gain. It's never been explained. There aren't black folks explaining this type of stuff. And the reason they're not explaining it is because the people that are quote unquote the gatekeepers that you heard me talk about are the ones that are going to continuously have control until you understand that significant part. I'm going to have to continue to bang this on top of your head because you don't understand the significance of the timing of it all. You don't have a lot of time, and you got to grasp that. That's why I go so hard. Why think you see me posting every other 5 or 10 minutes? I'm a walking, building brand. There's some sacrifices that have to be made. There were some sacrifices that had to be made and for me to get to the position of where I'm at. And now I'm afforded to where now you're going to see me on video, but you're also going to see me in person. You're going to see me on video, but you're also going to see guests sitting on my couch. You're going to see me in video, but you're also going to see me out doing one-on-one interviews where I'm in my own realm, in my own circle, in my own space to where my guests feel comfortable. It took time. It took money. It took energy. It took sacrifice. And most people aren't willing to sacrifice their time of leisure for a time to lock in, for them skills to be exercised and utilized. And I want to introduce y'all to a term. And I want to talk about this term. And one of these terms is called underutilization. When resources like labor or equipment are not used to their full potential. I'm talking about those tangibles that God gave you. You just heard me speak on that. You heard me speak specifically to you, and I'm talking to your spirit. I'm talking to the man in you that makes you, that DNA that has expanded to make you exactly who you are. And I'm talking to the female right now. Underutilization, that right there has become the forefront of a lot of our culture, to where they do not understand that you're going to have to get away from everything and everybody in order to achieve a certain level of success. There's going to be times you want to go out. There's going to be times that you want to hang. There's going to be times that you just want to just chill, but you're not going to be able to, because you got to realize that your timing ain't God's timing. And if you want everything to be clicking on all cylinders, so when that opportunity walks and grabs you, or that opportunity that you have to throw elbows and get ugly with in order to afford you an opportunity, you're going to have to make sacrifice. Or you can make excuses, fall victim to escapism, alcohol, weed, dramas, bullshit, baby mama, all that. You can actually take that and utilize that and turn it into rocket fuel. You heard me say this. The word no builds legacies. And if you understand that word no, then you'll understand how many opportunities that you'll be able to be told yes. I want to say this. Gunplay, you still got time, but you got to move like you don't have no time. To all the people over there at Animal Shelter, I wish them much success. Gunplay, I wish you success. But I also want you to get a hold of all the things that have been your distractions and use it as rocket fuel to become the artist that you was always destined to be. Shout out to my boy, man. Shout out to Gunplay and shout out to Animal Shelter out there, man. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing. If you ever get a chance, man, check them out. You know what I'm saying? Salute to them, man. I'm going to wish the best for them. Nothing but success, though. Real talk, man. For real. Real. I want to talk about this, too, as well. Spring break in Houston was off the charts. Is Houston the new Miami? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're building up Miami right now. It's becoming unaffordable. The billionaires are carving out their spaces and their opportunities out there, and they're going to direct their energy to Houston, too, fourth largest city near the coastline. They have a lot of opportunities that are going to be afforded within the next 10 to 15 years. It may be, as far as economically unlivable, unless you are in the 6-figure, 7-figure realm. They're changing a lot of things. But I'm going to say this. There was a lot of drama. There was a lot of BS. There was a lot of overcharging. There was a lot of undercharging. There was a lot of too much charging all over the place. But nonetheless, this was the spot. Was there a lot of drama? Yes. Was there a lot of controversy? Yes. Was there a lot of fighting? Yes. Was there a lot of drunks? Yes. People came here. People wanted to have the Houston experience, but at what cost? They're already talking about S.T.D rates shooting up and different things like that. But some people, the majority, went back to their cities. A lot of people have came to be exactly what Vegas used to be, as far as what was it? The grotto. You know what I'm saying? What goes on in Houston stays in Houston. And yes, is this a tourist city? Right now, absolutely. A lot of things are being restricted on the West Coast, East Coast. A lot of people are changing their laws and they don't want certain demographics there. So they are only migrating to wherever area that seems like it has the least of rules. Trust me, they are moving and migrating to the place that have the least of rules. And if they can actually insert themselves and be able to do whatever it is that they want to do and to be free, they'll move and migrate to that place. But spring break was very seriously. I'm going to say this, for those that do live here in Houston, there was a lot going on, good, bad, and ugly. But nonetheless, we are the new tourist city. We are the attraction to where everybody wants to come. We are the place to where everybody wants to be wild and free. We are the place to where people want to connect and be able to hold shit down. You know what I'm saying? As far as Houston, as far as the vacationing part of it. Is it a great place? Yes, Houston. I love my city. I'm always love H-Town. This is my home. Will be my home, and will enjoy the comforts of what's provided here within Houston. But nonetheless, I want people to be careful. I want people to be safe. I want people to be able to go home, or wherever they're from, even if they are from here, to go home in a safe place, in a safe space, to where it's not controversial. It's not outside and out of town issues where it's not people beefing and, just different sections and cities and different things like that having confrontations. We've already seen this before and time again. But for the next spring break that happens next year, and I want to say this, I hope everybody be safe. I hope everybody's able to go home. I hope that a lot of mothers and fathers aren't going to get a call or a situation to where somebody is hurt or being put in a bad position to where they have to defend themselves or have to hurt somebody else. I do hope that. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be safe. I want our city to be known for something as far as respect and honor. You know what I'm saying? Not a bunch of bullshit and controversy. So shout out to the H-Town, man, for real. Shout out to the old H-Town, man. And I wanted to say this too. And this is something that I wanted to bring to the forefront. And you can chime in on this, and I'm gonna put the thing in the chat if you want to speak on it. This was a controversial thing that I talked about with my friends. Man denies his mom a place to stay after she left him. Do you think he was justified, or was it too harsh to your liking? And I want to be able to bring that and put that in the comments. So if anybody wants to come and, join as far as the comments are concerned, by all means, I'm going to give my take on this. Y'all check it out, and I'm going to bring it to the forefront. Y'all check this out.
My little bro. Most people think you're supposed to take care of your parents no matter what. But my mother left me homeless when I was 17. Not struggling, not barely getting by. I mean, completely homeless. One day, she packed up everything that mattered to her. Then she ran off with another man to start a new life. And she made that clear. She left me and my siblings sitting in an apartment in a project waiting for the locks to get changed. I remember the last day she came back to get the rest of her stuff. She looked at me directly in my eyes and she asked, "So what you finna do?" And I stood there hoping my mama would say, "Come with me," but she didn't. She grabbed the rest of her stuff, walked out the door, and left me right there. 17 years old. No plan, no guidance, no mama, just the streets. So I took it to the chin. I slept wherever I could sleep, pillow to post with my baby mama. Eventually, I got a job. At 18 years old, I got my own place. And I started building a life for myself. I became the man that nobody invested in. Fast forward about 12 or 13 years later, my phone rang. "Hey, son, it's your mama." She had just been put out. Now, she needed somewhere to stay. And I had it. I had the space. I had the money. I had the resources. For a moment, my heart wanted to say yes, because that's my mama. But then my memory kicked in. Flashbacks of being 17 years old, standing outside that apartment, watching my mama walk away. So I told her, "No, mama." And I reminded her, "You remember when you left me homeless? I had to figure it out." And I told her, "You had to figure it out just like I did." And would you believe she hung up before I did? And I'm not gonna lie, I sat there for a moment, shed a few tears, because denying your own mother somewhere to stay hurts. But boundaries matter. Some people think forgiveness means access. It doesn't. I forgave my mother, but she doesn't get the benefit from the man I became without her investment. You can love someone and still refuse to let them benefit from the damage that they cause, because sometimes the harvest people reap is the seeds that they...
That's deep. That is very deep. And I have to give him an applause for standing as a man. I have to give him a applause for standing as a man, because that is something that is happening and currently going on right now in Black culture, to where we've literally become resistant of our responsibilities and obligations as men and women, to where we put them off on somebody else, or we just completely just abandon them. I'm going to say this, and this may be the most controversial thing that I've ever said on my podcast. He denied his mom a place to stay after she left him. And the reason why I say what I'm about to say is because I looked at it in its entirety. That was a good thing that he left his mama where she was. And the reason being is because there are a lot of people that want to put off responsibilities in adulthood as long as they can so that they can live freely to where they don't adhere to their mistakes. They don't recognize their mistakes and they can basically ignore the mistakes that they made. Why? Because they never learned another way of living outside themselves. You got to understand, the moment that a child, a life force, comes to the earth, the way it's supposed to go, and I'm saying the way it's supposed to go, is the responsibility of the mother and the father begins. And the reason why it is so important for us to understand that is because you're supposed to have a value of your child. You are not supposed to look at your child in jealousy. You're not supposed to look at your child in utter disgust. You're not supposed to look at your child as a receipt or a tax write-off. You're supposed to be looking at your child as your legacy to be able to push the next generation to the next level. The reason why it was a good thing is because her type of mentality, her type and way of living needed to expire. That woman's way of life and her experience needs to die out from the society of where we are into today. Because the only thing that she could teach is failure. The only thing that that woman could teach is being undesired. The only thing that she could teach is her life was a tub of goo mixed with disaster, chaos, and a bunch of bullshit. And it needs to be eradicated. We need these young brothers to see inspiration. We need these young girls to see inspiration of adulthood and fatherhood and motherhood. We need that now more than ever because we don't want to have a generation of the neglected. Because then if they're neglected, there isn't going to be any adult within their realm that they're going to respect. And I'm saying this because at the end of the day, there are a lot of kids that are locked into these Jack and Jill situations. There are a lot of these children that are neglected and are not respected amongst their parents because the situation between their mother and father didn't work out. I want to talk and I want us to value this. Your child is supposed to hold a level of value and preciousness that nobody can fathom if they don't have it. But when they continuously see the people that are having children are incompetent and the people that are competent not having the children, then that's going to say something about the even overall creation of birth, the value of it, and what it means to a man's legacy and what it means to a woman's legacy. That woman deserved what she got. That woman deserved every bit of pain that she felt that she gave her son for those years. And make no mistake about it, that man woke up every day hoping that his mother would return, realizing that she may have made a mistake. Waking up every morning hoping that she would have made the necessary sacrifices, made the necessary value of that child to be put within her heart and her spirit to bring about a change in the world. But that kid has every right to deny the mother because why? – because you chose everything but me. I can tell you being a father is not easy. Of the roadblocks and everything that has happened to me personally, I never stopped being a dad. Understand that it may not be the way that I want it to be. It may not have come out the way that I envisioned, but I'm still that father. I'm still that person when everybody else walks away, when everybody else don't give a damn. I'm going to be the one that give a damn. And the bad part about it is the most honest and the most true people and the most loving people of the society, and I'm talking about the children, are the fools of society. Why? And I asked that question. And I just got off of TikTok where a woman had been she had been given up at birth and then given up by the adoption parents. So she had been given up twice. And she literally spiraled out of control to where she was homeless. And she literally somehow, some way, by nothing but the grace of God and the power of her mind and her emotions and her physical abilities, she's no longer homeless. And I told her, and I said, I want you to have your flowers. You don't understand how strong you are. You don't understand that you could have easily checked out, but you're here. And we value you. And I value you as a person because I look at that as inspiration, because who knows what is in store for me in the future part of my life? Who knows? But make no mistake about it, I can utilize and use that as an example of a person persevering through pain, agony, and misery of understanding that nobody wanted them. I'm not trying to follow in anybody's footsteps but my own, and for those footsteps to be led off by my daughter. And that is one of the most key ingredients. You don't get to choose and pick as far as what? Oh, I want to be a parent today, but I don't want to be one tomorrow. Nah, once that life force, this is your life force. This is a reflection of you that is supposed to be taken serious. Your parenthood is supposed to be taken serious. Your motherhood, your fatherhood, your grandmotherhood, your grandfatherhood. All of these things play an intricate part in the character and the behavior of a child. And that child should not have to bear that disappointment every day, hoping that their mama literally comes up and says, you know what? No, you mine. I love you. We're going to figure it out together. No, you're mine. Mom made a mistake. Daddy made a mistake. Look, we're here. And we're going to make sure that we figure these things out together. That's the way it's supposed to be. It is never supposed to be to where you give in to your own selfish needs over your children. That is your life force. That is your legacy. You're supposed to protect it at all costs, not give it away. And as a father, I be damned if I let nobody tell me that I will never be a father. There is no courtroom. There is no person on this earth that will ever deny me access to my fucking kid. And I damn sure will make sure that before I shut my eyes on this earth, she's loved, she's cared for, she's valued, she was respected, and all the information that I will put in her as a woman will be utilized for her to find her mate. And they'll be able to match that energy and match that vibe and match that frequency and to be able to push the next generation forward. It's no longer my time. It's about my child. And if you're too selfish to recognize the importance of fatherhood and motherhood, then what the hell you had them in the first place? Respect them children. That man didn't make a mistake. He made a decision. Just like his mother had the right to make a decision. He had the right to deny his mom. And I said that that was a good thing. And that was a good thing. You know why? Because we don't need these types walking the face of the earth. You know why? Because all that's going to do is taint our culture, taint our race, and put us at a disadvantage. He did a good thing, and it's good. Because guess what? That man said the most important thing that you possibly didn't catch. The seeds you planted, you were the harvester. but you don't get to reap the benefits of the harvest. That was cold. That was cold, but it was real. You don't get to reap the benefits of the harvest. You don't get to reap the benefits of what you sent me off to, what you didn't even give a damn about. But I come back successful. I come back self-sufficient. I came back strong. I came back emotionally, financially, physically, and financially strong. When you left me to rot, you don't get to come back. And you don't get to tell me what's valuable in my life when I wasn't valuable in yours. Shout out to that young man. He did his thing. I know it was a hard decision nonetheless, but he did what it took, and he handled his business like he was supposed to. Shout out to that young man. At the end of the day, it's time to terminate the week. You heard me say this. Time to cancel the week. We don't need these types around us. We don't need these type of people infiltrating our family foundation and the things that we're trying to build for ourselves. And by the way, he has a child. And I know he vowed to never, ever leave his child's side like his mother left him. Shout out to that young man. I got to give him another round of applause. But I do want to get to this, and I want to get to this, and this is the section that I like to bring up. It's definitely called the Rob Report. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. B-L-E-C-K-R-O-B. One more time. And it's what I wanted to talk about. What are you willing to sacrifice? And are you prepared for the unthinkable? You heard me say earlier about being under the underutilization part, about not, but this is what I wanted to talk about in correlation to that. What are you willing to sacrifice, and are you prepared for the unthinkable? Are you willing to make an executive decision for certain individuals that were an asset? Are you willing to remove them as a liability? And the reason why I'm saying this is because we have the heart as black men and black women to want to take everybody with us, but everybody can't go. Everybody doesn't understand the seriousness of what your dreams are, what your aspirations are, what you're trying to accomplish. Because everybody sometimes just wants to fly above the radar. But then there are some that want to exceed expectations out of mediocrity. But I ask the question, are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up to get that? And are people willing to give up something of themselves to see the bigger picture and vision within you? Are you prepared to look yourself in the mirror and say that I may have to clear everything out? I might have to start from scratch by myself. Are you willing to do so? Because remember, that thing called time, you're on the clock. And I'm saying this because a lot of times we can think that we're ready, but we're not ready. There are a lot of people that are in this game. And when I'm saying from the entertainment or whatever, sports, whatever, you're only afforded an opportunity, a limited opportunity, a limited window of an opportunity. But can you really muster up if things were going haywire outside of what you do? Are you willing to shut all of it out and continue your journey to your success? Are you willing to understand that there may be somebody on their deathbed and you have to stay forward as far as your success? The people that are pulling you by the wayside, trying to detour you, whether it's a wife or whether it's a husband, do they see the vision that you're not willing to stop at nothing to become the success? Do they understand the significance behind what you're trying to accomplish and do? Are you willing to sacrifice them? Are you willing to sacrifice family to get to your success? Stone Cold did it. Beat King did it. There were certain people that they had to do what they had to do because it was all they had. Everything was leaving. Everything was falling. Everything was falling by the wayside. Everything was just taking off and running off from them. And they only were stuck with the one thing that they had, and that was their talent, their skills. Are you willing to, are you prepared to cut people off permanently forever to get to your success? That right there is the biggest problem and the biggest issue. That one step of understanding that you may have to cut them off. You may have to cut their necks in order to get to your success. Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to, when all the crowd leaves and it's just you performing on that stage, are you willing to, when everybody else leaves, you turn your camera on and you start cooking and you start creating your own value in your own page? Are you willing to understand that there may just be you? That's it. I heard Kiki say this. He said, when I didn't have nothing else, I just had rap. Everybody drove trucks and did all this, hustle, grind, whatever. I stuck with what I did. Are you willing to look yourself in the mirror, talk with God, and realize that there may be some people in your inner circle that just cannot be around you for the rest of the time of your success? Are you willing to do it? Can you pull the plug? Can you do it? And if you are able to do it, what next? What lies ahead of you? And the reason why I'm saying this is because in order for me to get where I had to go and the things that I tried to keep together and fight that I had to keep together, I had to say, fuck it. I didn't neglect it. I had to say, man, it's gone. It's over. And now that I've gotten to the place and the space to where I'm supposed to be, because that walk, just like that walk with God is a very long one, a lonely one, that's the same thing when it comes to success. A walk with God is lonely, but even that walk with success is going to be lonely, because there are going to be people that right when you getting ready to, and then you thought they was with you the whole time, skedaddle. That person that you thought that was doing it, they gone, skedaddle. That person that you love and kissed and hugged up on, whether it's a man or a woman, they start to turn on you. Are you willing to get rid of them? Are you willing to sacrifice all the bullshit trying to hold on to something that you think that is a value, that is intangible? Are you willing to go ahead and cut ties with it and make up for lost time? Are you willing to cut your losses in order to be a success? And if you are, welcome to the club. And if not, you already know where the end result of that is going to be. But I asked that question, are you willing to sacrifice? And if you are, welcome to the pillar of success. Shout out Michael B. Jordan. Jordan, you know what I'm saying? He's in an elite club now. Much love and much respect to him. You know what I'm saying? He built his thing brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? He made sacrifices, relationships, all tumultuous, ending, different things. He kept grinding. He kept doing his thing. And I'm saying that as an inspiration to black men and also to black women. Are you willing? When everybody leaves, when the hits stop making, when all the hits, they not hitting like they supposed to. Can you go 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in consistency? Can you stay low and keep firing until you have some type of success? Or will you fall into the shadows and the fall of obscurity? Can you do it? Can you make that sacrifice? And if you can, I salute you. That was the Black Rob Report. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to just throw that out there, man. There's so much going on, but I definitely wanted to bring that to a forefront. And that correlates with the Rick Ross and Gunplay message. But I felt like I had to speak on that because a lot of people don't understand what sacrifice is. They don't. They don't understand what it takes of how to go at something and don't get the result of going at something and you falter and you get tired, you get frustrated, you get emotional, you throw things, you get mad, you quit. You know what I'm saying? Even Nipsey Hussle put down rap and then picked it back up. You know what I'm saying? It gets like that. And sometimes the same people that was around him the first time ain't around him the second time. Some of them people that still believed him in the first time continued on, encouraged him until he picked that mic back up. He remembers that. And you remember that in your success. All the people that doubted you, all the people that disrespected you, all the ones that said your little podcast, your little music career, your little talk shows, your this and your that, everything that was minor is going to become major. You know why? Because ain't nobody going to respect it and you ain't going to neglect it. And guess what? You're going to take care of it because it's yours. And ain't nobody going to rep you better than you. Ain't nobody going to do you better than you. And ain't nobody going to build your level of success or your talents and skills better than you. So you keep that in mind when you grinding. Nobody gonna respect it more than you because it's yours. Shout out to those that are in the grind, baby, in the success. Absolutely, absolutely, man. But I wanted to say this, man. If you get a chance, you see it's been running at the bottom of my screen. I really want to send a special shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Sienna Wings and the Sauce Company, man. Listen, the sauce is off the chain. You see it at the bottom, 4340 Sienna Parkway, Suite 104, Missouri City. You seen me there yesterday. I support business. I support it because guess what? From the ages of 14, man, and coming to owning your own and on your way to your second and third spots, man, that is a true blessing and an inspiration that needs to be marveled at, respected, and most of all, talked about. It needs to be talked about. Man, I had a joyous time. Listen to me. That young lady is doing amazing things. Listen to me. We talked about 2.5 hours, man, just talking about business, the things that's going on. And I want to make y'all aware of this. If y'all get a chance, I want y'all to sign the petition. Y'all go over there to Sienna Wings, sign the petition. They do not want to give her a sign because of her name and trademark of her owning it. But they want her to give up her rights to the development company. The development company is to me, conflict of interest because every time she posts her business, they take it down. Every time she tries to post it within the community, they try to knock her down. You heard me talk about this. You heard me say that they moved the goalposts. Malcolm X said the same thing. And how can we have people that are continuously, as much as we try to change and we try to do business fairly, we got people in positions of power that want to take us through there. They want to disrespect us and try to hope that we give up. That's why the importance of understanding who's who and who's in your inner circle, who you value. And this young lady is doing her thing. And I have to give her love and respect because you know why? She's fighting the power. She's fighting the power that be. She just ain't the only one. Byron Allen, the $900 million lawsuit, to where he owns 90% of the market and he's only getting $5 million and everybody else is getting hundreds of millions of dollars in advertisement. But he owns the majority of the marketing. You see the conflict of interest? It's another black man. How about Michael Jordan? When he actually looked into NASCAR, he was pouring money down an endless drain and not receiving the benefits. And then they went into court and guess what? Michael Jordan changed the way that we look at NASCAR right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? That's serious. That's serious. Oh. I had to cut that. And I'm saying this because we would have never thought that Michael Jordan would have got into NASCAR and then he ended up blowing the doors off of NASCAR and making it fair for everybody. Everybody in NASCAR. Now it's fair across the board for everybody, but it took him going into NASCAR to recognize and see things for what they were or what they thought they were going to continuously be. And he literally changed the narrative of how we look at NASCAR right now. A black man, this young lady, a black woman fighting ownership, her own ownership, and having to give it up to a community that don't even respect her and have done underhanded things and tactics to break her. Byron Allen, another person When are we going to combine our minds together to understand the seriousness of to where we don't have to watch things go on? We can be effective and do something about it. That's the where we're supposed to be at. And shout out to them for taking a stand and doing something and actually taking it serious about their craft, their information, and actually creating a lane for themselves, man. Shout out to them. We had a long talk yesterday, man, and it was very serious. And the reason why I was very serious is because I soaked up some games, some things that I didn't know, especially when it came to trademark and also having certain leverages to where people will try to take that from you. It's serious. And I hope that y'all go over there. Y'all, I'm talking about 1,000% support. And the reason being is because if it happens to her, when you go into business, it can happen to you. So you think about that. Yeah, that one thing can affect not just her, but it can affect you too if you'd ever decide to go into business. But shout out to that young lady for doing her thing, man. She is on her way into then some. She been doing her thing. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, like I told you, man, go to HEB. Listen, the Sienna sauce, man, you already see the insignia up at the top. Listen, go on over there. Grab you some sauce. Man, the sauce is off the chain, man. Everything that you seen me advertise when I went live, man, fries are good. The mac and cheese was good. The wings were good. You know what I'm saying? And they fry them to perfection. Any way that you want it, they definitely going to take care of you over there. They are my sponsor. You know what I'm saying? And you going to see me over there broadcasting live, see me doing advertisement. And you're also going to see the sauces advertised directly with me at my location. Like I told you, we're not just going to be doing this on video. You're going to actually see live sessions. After this week, we are recording live sessions, and we do definitely want you to be a part of it. And also shout out to everybody. Shout out to Ed Hennings as well. Like I told you, I don't just rep the brand. I actually use the brands that I actually represent. I eat over there at Sienna Wings. I wear the boots of Ed Hennings. I'm finna get ready to order me another pair. And for anybody that's in the local ILA, listen, use this code ILA 2026. ILA 2026, and you definitely gonna get a discount. Shout out to him, man. Real talk. Shout out to Ed Hennings. So you will see me in the upcoming weeks. You're going to see me on the hunt. I'm going to be taking my show on the road. We definitely taking our show on the road. And you're going to see me asking direct questions. And this is going to be one of them. That question about the mom is going to be one of them. And I want to see different people's perspective on it. And we're going to go from there, man, because we're going to start implementing a lot of in our sessions, different questions, and that we're going to go around the city, you know, and just partake in the, you know, in the culture itself, and we just gonna have fun with it. You know what I mean? So definitely be on the lookout for that. Definitely go over there and support the brands and the sponsorships that I have. Man, go use them. Listen, go over there to Ed Hennings CO. You've seen it at the bottom of the screen. And go on, order you some boots. If you know anybody that's blue collar, man, do them a favor. And the reason I'm not just telling you to buy them because they're my sponsors, but they are very comfortable boots. You know what I'm saying? I wear them every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about climbing on top of stuff, whether it's pipes, whether it's cement, whether it's sugar, because I work as a longshoreman. I work as them. I utilize them. So you take advantage and use the discounts that I provided, man. ILA 2026, man. Y'all going over there. And then I'm also going to be providing a code for the sauces. And then also for sometimes that you'll be able to go over there and get a discount on your meal, man. Shout out to them, man, for real. And I want to, listen, I want you to enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. I went impromptu because I just felt like I had to get it off my chest. I'm going to probably return tomorrow and Tuesday if God says the same. You know what I'm saying? We're going to definitely be doing our thing, and we definitely going to rock with y'all across the board. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for joining me. Yeah, so appreciate y'all for joining me, man. And it's just been a blessing, especially on a Sunday. On a Sunday, it's been a blessing to rock with y'all and to see y'all. And like I say, for anybody that's gonna watch this later on, please share the program with anybody, man. I don't be tripping, man. Take advantage, man. Have these conversations. I do these so that you can actually have these type of conversations and you can just vibe with. You know what I mean? So listen. If you get a chance, man, like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? share, comment on tonight's topics. Man, by all means, the floor is definitely yours. I do not trip. Man, drop a comment. I don't care whether it is thumbs up, thumbs down. We take all criticism. And then also, I want to introduce you to a couple of artists. You know what I'm saying? Before we go, you know what I'm saying? We're going to definitely rock out. So, without further ado, listen to me, man. I would like to thank each and everybody for joining today's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, then come in, join the conversation and comment down below. But we've come to an end, so tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we got a lot to yap about, but the artist that I want to bring up, man, got a fire song. Man, it's in rotation right now. It's doing its thing. The song is called Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Future took you to Pluto, but guess what? Guess what? Asteroid gonna take you to Saturn. You already know who it is. Rob the Prob. We out.
Sorry. You're not blonde enough.
If I could take you to Saturn, I'd introduce you to patterns that they couldn't find. I would lean you for the sour, cause I wanna party with you in the San Valentine. Please carry on. I feel like everybody's rolling off of something, hoping at dysfunction. Bodies glisten all over the floor. DJ, the way she hit that replay, make someone for easy. Body language, speaking fluency, freeze frame. I let it fly if it's a free thing. After this line, I'm hoping you can reach me. Cause coffee beans in the morning is a sweet thing. After this line, I'm hoping Saturn. I would introduce you to patterns that they couldn't find. And we move from the Saturn. If I wanna party with you in the San Valentine, please carry on. I feel like everybody's rolling off something, bumping at this function. Bodies glisten all over the floor. DJ, the way she hits that replay, that makes you want float easy. Got me out here speaking fluency.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Roads under my feet, I'm gonna run these streets. Ghetto life we live, I'm gonna shut my business. They never feel my pain, but they know my name. Ooh, yeah, they gon' know my name. It's been so long, I was trying to get right. Oh, it feel like I'm wrong. By the end of the night, I be all on my own. I ain't got a gun, I ain't running from a fight. I was locked down in the belly of the beast. I was just trying to make my way to the light. I had to make that bitch understand. And I'm whipping shit with the other hand. And I'm bouncing back like a rubber band. When it come to money, do the running man. She just wanna fall with a nigga who 100, yeah. Who 100? I don't want nothing, I just want some money, yeah. Some money. She just wanna fall with a nigga who 100, yeah. And I don't want nothing, I just want some money, yeah. I made a game, jabbing shit, I'm getting one of them rain. Traumatized, no iconic pain. Dirty word, I'm coming back with a stain. I paid the cost, dirty game, I prefer the cross. Had to learn how to take me a loss. Put them on, now that made me a boss. And she just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. And I don't want nothing, I just want some money. Roads under my feet, I'm gonna run these streets. Ghetto life we live, I'm gonna shut my business. They never feel my pain,
I never went against the code. I had love for dog, I had to cut him off, I heard he told. I would've laid down when it did the time for the game. And these be the same clowns that be tryna put dirt on my name. Ain't no pretty ball, no mention to me. I know how to get the bag out the streets. I know how to turn a 1 to a 3. I know how to turn your bitch to a freak. She just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. I want nothing, I just want some money, yeah. She just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. And I want nothing, I just want some money.
Rose under my feet, I'm gon' run these streets. Ghetto life we live, I'm gon' shot my business. They never feel my pain, but they know my name. Ooh, yeah,
they gon' know my name. I was down bad, but I never went against the